Hi everybody, welcome to another tutorial or part 2 on how to create a beat from scratch using TAL-U-No-LX. Before we start, I'd just like to say that I have two codes for ChordBud2 to give away. So if you are interested and you are a subscriber, please send an email to SoundForMore@gmail.com. So before we start part 2, where we will add a bass line, I'd like to go through what we created in part 1. So in part 1 we created an audio channel where we have used TAL-U-No-LX with this preset PL Dream Catcher. I have added also Bliss reverb as an effect, and then I have created a chord progression from scratch using ChordBud2. And as you can see, we're starting with a D minor, then we move to an F major, second inversion, then A minor, first inversion, and then C major. Now, what I like to sometimes do is also to have a representation on notes on what the progression is. And if you have tonality, you can add under MIDI processor grand stuff, which you can use, like in this case, connected to ChordBud2. And then if you open it and click play, you see the chords coming from chord 2 representing as note. I find that interesting because, of course, it shows you the notes on the screen. If you are a musician, you can appreciate that. But anyway, in this part 2, we're going to create a bass line, again using TAL-U-No-LX. So we create another audio track, audio channel, and we search for TAL-U-No-LX. So TAL space U will do. Here we go. Let's go inside TAL-U-No-LX and let's choose a preset. I know there is a nice bass under Juno, so let's try bass 2, but it could be also bass 1. Next, we are going to add an instance of ArpBud2. Now you may ask, why ArpBud2? Well, it's because I can use ArpBud2 a little bit as a trick to create a bass line. Now, if you noticed, observe the bottom note of each chord. So the first note of each chord is what is called number 1, or the first note, which will be represented in ArpBud2 if you connect ArpBud2 to be driven from ChordBud2. So in other words, when ChordBud2 sends, for example, D minor chord with a D, an F, and A, the first note, which it says here 1 for interval, will be a D. The second note an F, and the third note will be an A. So if I use always the first note, then I have that bass which I really want. So in this case, let's reduce the number of steps to 2. We go to octave as well, because a bass will have a lower octave. Let's go down by 2 octaves for the first note, and by 1 octave on the 2 octave on the first step, and 1 octave on the second step. In this case, you will have the same note, 2 octave lower on the first step and 1 octave lower on the second step. So it will alternate between octave, the same notes. So let me show you now what that will sounds like, but also what that will look like driving grand stuff directly from ArpBud2 instead of ChordBud2. So let's open that and let's click play. As you can see, the notes are moving very quickly. So that means that the tempo needs to be adjusted. So inside ArpBud2, let's change the rate to a quarter, and let's also connect ArpBud2 to the second instance of TAL-U-No-LX, like so. And let's open Grunt Stuff again and let's listen. Now I like to make some adjustments. So first of all, I know that the volumes are not right, so that those needs adjustment. So, but I also want to add an effect. So for the bass, let's choose actually a chorus effect. Let's choose Bliss chorus. Always like effects from Bliss. So, and let's choose as a preset dip chorus. So let's try. Okay, so in this way, using ArpBud2 has created a simple bassline to drive a second instance of TAL-U-No-LX. I hope you enjoyed, and in the next part we'll look at how to add an ARP melodies, a rhythm track, and also a melody using the random function of ArpBud2. See you next time. Bye.